All right. Welcome to the Crypto Factor. Welcome to your favorite cryptopreneurship show. This is another emergency, urgent, whatever you want to call it, impromptu live stream to talk about Bitcoin, to talk about crypto, answer your questions, do a technical overview, basically a technical analysis, but it's an overview because it takes hours to do technical analysis. But we're going to do a technical overview, look at the Bitcoin price, look at altcoins, then answer your questions in the chat. And if you have any specific coins or cryptocurrencies you want me to look at with the factor line, that's what we're going to be using for this overview. Feel free to put it in the chat and we will answer and do some analysis for it. Now, it's not going to be it shouldn't be too long of a live stream pretty much because I have to go practice Muay Thai. So maybe half an hour, maybe an hour, we'll see depending on your questions. So let's get straight into it and let's talk about Bitcoin, if we're going to bounce or if we're going to dump. And this is key because this affects the whole crypto market over here. So this is Bitcoin on the daily chart over here, and we called this bounce over here perfectly. We also called this bounce over here perfectly. But what's going to happen now? So you have to look at a couple of levels in Bitcoin. I'm not going to try and predict if it's going to go up and this bull market continues. I'm not going to predict if it's a bear market. What I'm going to do is grab a range, and if it breaks under the range, we go bear. If it goes above the range, we go bull. Because right now we're in a perfect range, which means you can trade within that range, but also look at your long-term analysis on that range. So let's have a look here real quick. So this is Bitcoin right now. And as you can see, we have the bottom all the way down here. This is where we would go bear. Why we would go bear over here? We would go bear over here if we break under this and this becomes resistance, pretty much because this is where we break structure. We go down below the previous low over here, which constitutes to a potential bear market, or I would have to say in that case, a bear market. Now, where will the price reach? Doesn't really matter. It's more of the prolongedness that kills you here, right? So if you break under, let's just say we broke under this, okay? And it becomes resistance, you can go down 60, 55,000, maybe play in this previous range over here. Not much of a drop if you really think about it, but it's the prolongingness and the potential for more downside that kills you in bear markets. This could last 6 months, 1 year, doesn't matter, but this here bleeds your altcoins and bleeds you dry. So that's one thing we are looking at here. Now, so as I was saying, I just deleted that by accident. This is your line in the sand right here. Now, if the bullish case is around $100,000, all right? Now we're getting a range here, but we're going to do we're going to do an inner range as well for traders and swing traders, okay? But around 100,000 psychological, which is right here, you have your second range. And as you can see, prices were bouncing off this. There was snap cracking, came up, ultimately failed. So this is your key level, 100,000. If you want to get a little bit more specific, it's from here, which is what, 98? Yeah. Well, let's just call it 98,000, okay? So this is your resistance range. So this is where I'm expecting price to reach, and then we have to reevaluate if we're going to have continuation. We'll talk about that in just 1 second. This is the 4-hour chart. Your lower range here, if you want to get a little bit more range-wise, I would just extend the lower of the previous range over here. So that's your line in the sand, so to speak. Now, for those of you that played this bounce, it's a lot more simple. Because you have a higher low over here and a higher low over here. So if these break, if we come up to this line, this resistance line, and we come back down and none of these holds, chances are we're going to test this dangerous territory and then we'll have to reevaluate. So this is your lines, this is your defense points. Think of your defense points. If you had an army and you had different defense points, so if the enemy army comes through, What points are you defending? Do you have a fortress? Do you have some rock, some cover? That's it. That's what you're looking at. Does that make sense? That's where you hold your ground. If that breaks, you have to anticipate the second and third. And if it goes lower, that's where you have to take your queen and run away and fight another day, if that makes sense. Because they're breaching the walls. Does that make sense? Okay? Now, what we are looking for here on Bitcoin is a continuation, possible rejection, and then yet another higher low. Will it be here? Will it be here? We don't know, but we should come up and retest this resistance over here. If we break up, we have to see if there's going to be continuation or not. I know this is, look, it's very important to understand all this with context because we are at very important times. Because we're not just talking about price going up, you taking profits, whatever. We're talking about bull market ending, bull market continuing. This is why I want to show you all levels or major levels here. So bear with me because this is extremely important and I will be answering your questions in just 1 second, okay? And we'll talk about altcoins as well. So if we come up here, we have a very clear rejection at 112,000, and I would even say if you want continuation, I would go with 117,000. This is the way I do ranges in my course, by the way, and how I trade the markets as a swing trader. My ranges are my most important, the most important factors that I put in my TA are ranges. So here's what's gonna happen now. This, we have to again see if we can get above it or if it rejects and we hold. Every resistance becomes support. So once you break resistance, it becomes support. So if we break resistance here, this resistance becomes support, then we gotta see if it can actually continue or fail. Now, on the bigger picture, you have to be careful. Why? Because all bull markets end with a structure as a blow-off top or a top indicator. And one of the indicators are in play here. A potential indicator for a top is in play here. That's why I'm saying we're gonna have at least a bounce. We're gonna go up, but then we have to see if this indicator comes into play. And that is an inverse heads and shoulders on the long term. So in that case, look, if you just look, this would be your left shoulder over here, very clear. This would be your head, and then this potential move would be your right shoulder over here. Does that make sense? Let me make this a different color so you can, well, that's not the best color to choose, let's use blue. That's what we need to watch out for because that could be a topping formation. Now, this means that altcoins can really run here. And most gains can happen in 2-3 weeks. So keep in mind that altcoins can run here, or if Bitcoin actually manages to break up and have a continuation, which is what the bulls are hoping for right here, then altcoins can really run, right? And this would then become a blow-off top. It would be a lot easier to get a blow-off top around 140K over here. I'm not saying this is gonna happen, I'm just giving you all options here so you can decide, so you can do your analysis, you can do your strategy and protect yourself and so on. So this is what we are looking for here. And you can see this a lot easier on, this is the daily chart. So this is very, very apparent here. Now, the trend stacker is moving upwards all the way down here to the red at the bottom. That's when I was saying reversal, because this is one of the reversal signals when it corresponds to other analysis or other indicators. And we're starting to come up. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, we were here. Yesterday, we were here. Now we are here. And we're looking to become bullish. We're looking to start getting momentum, volume, and a couple of other factors all bullish. And this is the trend stacker. This combines all of them. This works on this chart. This indicator has different things built in. One is the trend stacker, the ranges, they calls different ranges for you, swing failure points so you can buy and sell and swing trade on longer time frames and so on. It's all in the factor line. I have most of them turned off right now because I'm just doing a technical overview, but you get it. And if you are interested in the factor line, it comes with my course, Invest, Trade, and Think Like the Crypto Factor. You can scan this code on your phone, or this click the link in the description down below so you can discover more about it, see if it's for you. Prices went up already. I told you, I've been telling you all week, prices are now up and they're gonna go higher because they're going up incrementally. They're gonna reach $2,600. I'm doing it incrementally as I'm adding to the course. Now we have a group, a support group. Now we're gonna get automation involved. We're gonna do a whole bunch of stuff. And I don't know if automation becomes with a small subscription. We'll see about that. But generally speaking, we're adding a lot to the factor line. That said, that's enough about the factor line. Let's get back to the analysis. Oh, and it comes with my course, Invest, Trade, and Think Like the Crypto Factor. Teaches you how to invest, trade like I do as a swing trader, but also to think like I do. Okay, so it's a big package. It's not just the line. Anyway, let's move on. So this is what we're seeing right now with a factor line, on the Bitcoin daily chart over here. Okay. So this is your overview. This is your technical overview on Bitcoin. If you watch my channel and you watch my live streams, you know exactly what I'm looking at, and I'll try and let you know what I'm looking back every day. For those of you saying that this is a bear market, it's not. It's not yet. We have to break $74,000 to break structure for this to be a bear market. Anybody that says otherwise, I challenge them right now to show me their technical analysis. Oh my God, but this broken, that broken. We call it on the day. Dude, we were still in structure. Bitcoin's known to fall 30, 40, even 50% in bull markets. Yes, on the timing on the 4-year cycle, we're towards the end. We actually called it the end. Will probably come in around this time as well for years on my channel, and we've been planning and strategizing for it, but it's not over till a fat lady sings, and I'm not hearing no fat lady sing, okay? I'm not hearing no XRP Army mothers sing. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. So let's start talking about altcoins. I am seeing some questions over here in the chat. We'll get to the questions in a second. Write all questions in the chat. Put the coins you want me to check out. I'll try and keep this going for a while. Let's look at Zcash. So Zcash on the factor line on the daily, we actually did this analysis yesterday and I actually called to get in. I told you to buy and I gave you a couple of things to look at. First of all, line in the sand at 301,000. Let's call it $300. Let's call it 300 psychological. If Bitcoin breaks under, you have to go bear until proven otherwise. And if we break above 380 over here psychological, then you have to go bull until proven otherwise. So very simple long-term, short-term analysis over here. And for traders, you're playing in this range over here. So you're buying, you're selling, you're buying, you're selling in the range. And once you break out, you get out of your trade and then you decide if you go long-term or short-term. So very easy when it comes to Zcash. That's the chart, that's to follow. Yes, you can go by narrative, you can do this, you can do that. Look, it's all clear on, this is the best time to actually buy anything just because we have clear resistance range and you can actually play in the range or out of the range depending if you're a bear or bull, and you can play these charts perfectly. Does that make sense? Very, very, very important time because this is where you can play, this is where you can take profits, this is where you can minimize losses. There's a whole bunch of things you can do here. And don't forget that most moves in Bitcoin happen in just 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, altcoins as well. So yes, a dead cat bounce, even if it's a massive heads and shoulders, could constitute in massive gains. And if we have a continuation, which is possible, I'm not saying it's not, then you could be looking at the parabola and those massive gains that you've never seen all this bull market so far. And I'm still saying there's potential for one last move with altcoins as a full-blown altcoin season, which will be selective. So select altcoins will run. We talked about them, our narratives and such in other videos. Make sure you subscribe down below and hit the bell notification button and check out those videos so you don't miss them. So that's Zcash. And I will be looking at Dogecoin. I will be looking at Shiba. I will be looking at XRP. So give me just 1 second and let's move to Aster coin, because this is also in a range. Now the factor line gave you this range over here because the factor line gives you the range. I would do it a little bit different personally, and this is what I teach in my course. I would draw the range over here because this is clear resistance. And then I would also, right now prices here, I would look at this range over here as well. based on this candle, based on this candle over here on the snap and crack, and also the previous SFP over here, which we said if we break under, that is bearish, right? So I'm looking at this range here. Why am I looking at this range here? Because maybe we come, oops, sorry, wrong indicator. Because it's very possible for us to do something like this. If this becomes resistance, expect a test down here. I would get out before this because chances are it will probably break at this point. So I wouldn't even wait for that. Or you will play in this range over here again, but this time you will play in the range here and break out. And that's where I would buy it. I would buy with a clear stop loss under that. Let me just change the color so you can get the difference. There you go. So that's where I would still put the stop loss under here if I'm a bit more, I want to give it more leeway. But if we have a break and let's say we come down and make that support, then your stop loss is probably under this last break candle over here, let's say. Okay, depends how conservative, how tight you want to play. Next resistance is over here. If that breaks, then continuation is pretty, I would say probable in this case. So that's Aster. Now let's talk about XRP. I was planning to do it anyway because people asked me in the chat as well, but I was planning to, I already had this open. And as you can see, XRP is under a range here. This is the range that the factor line is giving you. This is the previous range over here. And I would do the same thing. I would extend this range in this case because look, it falls perfectly. This is why I like working with ranges, and we've built this the factor line to support that and give you the basic ranges because it's so easy to see and what others don't see. And this is our advantage here. So I work a lot in ranges. I go through them in my course extensively because look how they play out. I mean, it's crazy how they play out. So look, previous range over here gave us the perfect bounce. This is called a snap and crack. So this right now is your line in the sand, not down here. See, before we would say down here is a line in the sand. Now, this is your line in the sand for XRP. So if you break under, you're not getting back in until we come back above, and you're bearish until proven otherwise. Does that make sense? Now, I would say XRP needs to break the bottom of the current range, which is around let's call it 2.3. So for now, XRP is trading in this range. This is a bit higher, by the way. It doesn't matter. If we come up and make the support, you can expect XRP to play around in the lower mid of this range over here. And then if it's going to be bullish, obviously it's going to break above and then re-challenge all-time highs, which is about here. Let's just do it like this, doesn't matter. So that's what we're saying here. Trend stacker is still red, so we still have to wait. This is the daily chart. Factor line is still red. Maybe on the 4-hour we can see a different picture in this case. Oh no, not really, it just confirms everything I'm saying over here. So yeah, this is what we're looking at over here. So yeah, of course, the factor line just gave you a buy signal here. So the factor line is saying buy here, which means your stop loss would be under this level over here, let's say, depending on your style of stop loss. Maybe use the previous range bottom over here on the 4-hour. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, pretty much. So this is what I would do. So if you're interested in XRP, you can buy here for a potential breakout and either sell the top of the range over here. So you could sell this line over here. Let's just call it a line. And if it rejects, you can reevaluate if it goes up with volume or if it continues going to the downside. So that's XRP. So there you have it. That's Bitcoin, Zcash, Aster, and XRP. Let's look at the chat and see if we have any questions. And do me a favor, if you watch this channel, if you get value from this channel, please subscribe down below and hit the bell notification button. Some people have been subscribed, but YouTube kind of takes away subscribers sometimes. I would really appreciate if you subscribe, or if you're already subscribed, please hit that like button. Would really appreciate it. That's all I ask. Now, let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. Crypto Clown World. Good morning, Paul. I was about to hit the rack, but I'll hang out. Yeah, thank you, man. It's not going to be too long because I have to go Muay Thai. I'll stay as long as there's questions, but then I'm going to head out over here because I want to go train as well. And if I'm late, they're going to kick my ass. So, and believe me, you don't want my coach kicking my ass. Because we do one-on-one, so. Anyway. Paul, can you give us the news for the classes? Nope. There's news for the classes and news for the masses. We only get the news for the masses. And that's why right now you're hearing all this bullish news. And I actually made a tweet saying they're going to say it's news driven, even though it was TA. And we called the bounces. And I said, they're going to say it's news driven. Now everyone's saying it's news driven. Everyone's flipping. We called it before. This is the magic with TA. Technical analysis. Show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. Stop looking at the news. They knew all this shit. They knew about this news before we did. So even if you want to go by news, you're not getting the news they knew. So what you need to do is use technical analysis, because if we reject and start going down, there's a very big possibility that they have other news that we don't know, or it's all about supply and demand anyway. Some other thing might happen, some recession might happen, a whole bunch of shit might happen. You don't want to go by news. You want to go by charts. There's news for the classes, news for the masses. We only get the news for the masses. We're not insiders, especially now. Back in the day, there was crypto insiders. I'm a crypto insider. I used to get information, and I still do get some information. But guess what? Now, the way things are going with the ETS, with Trump, with this, with that. Yes, I know a couple of senators, but believe me, it's not the same. It's not the same market. So no news for the classes, Mark. No news for the classes. Please look at Doge and Shiba. Do you think Doge can surge to $1? Very good question. Let's have a look at Doge. I don't suggest Shiba, but let's look at Doge and then we'll see if we do Shiba real quick as well, since I said we're going to do this. So give me a second here. Let's go Doge. And I'm doing USDT. You're supposed to do, that was interesting. There's a little dog that came out as soon as I put Doge on TradingView. I never saw that before. Interesting, very interesting. All right, so Doge. We actually called to get in Doge down here because we said it was the bottom of the range, and if we break out, it was a clear exit. But as you can see, we did get a bounce from the bottom of this range. And again, I go about ranges and I tell you how to play ranges in my course with the factor line. We bounced up and now it turned gold. All right, so we have gold. We have an SFP sell here, so I would definitely watch this as a potential resistance. And then the clear range is up. Oh, which, look at this. It's just crazy. It corresponds to the previous low of the previous range. Pretty much on dot, right? If you take away the wicks. Anyway, so I would look at this range here. And then on the top range, obviously, the factor line is giving you here. You can also go by the highs of the candles over here, right? So I would look at this range over here for potential rejection if we go up. But factor line pretty much tells you that you might do something like this, okay? The biggest rejection or the biggest, what was I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Rejection? Oh my God, my brain just stopped. My biggest, what's the word I'm looking for? Support, resistance. The biggest resistance is up here. All right, so factor line neutral, trend stacker neutral. This is a good potential here, but you have to watch out. You have to watch out for any potential rejection at these lines over here. So these two lines, make sure you account for them. Yeah, I don't need to do the colors, do I? Do I need to do the colors here? I don't think I need to, right? So just make sure here. I'll do another line so I can make it the same color with you. Here, I'll do this. Come on. What am I doing? Ah, I have it selected already. Okay, got it. There you go. So That's what we're looking for with Dogecoin. But yeah, definitely a good buy signal. This is the 4 hour. Let's have a look at the daily though. So daily, of course, is not gold just yet. Told you to buy down here. Factor line actually gave you a massive buy signal over here for a swing trade. Did not tell you to get out yet because it's expecting more upside, but long term it's not gold yet. So it's also looking at these resistance lines, if that makes sense. Okay? So that's Doge. As for Shiba, I don't know why anyone's still in Shiba right now, to be honest with you. Let's go crypto. Shiba. Oof. So we don't have many pairs. Let's go Bybit. Give the factor line a chance to. So Shiba also in a range down here, probably because everything bounced though. I wouldn't get into Shiba until we get at least into this previous range over here. Yeah, you had sell signals, sell signals. Sell signal, sell signal. So if you're in Shiba, I would definitely get out under the lower of this range. If we break under, I would completely exit until at least we get back up. So if we come like this, I would exit. And then if we bounce here, you could trade this range over here, I guess, if you're a trader. And if you break up, then you can reevaluate for the bullish side. That's Shiba for me. Again, technical overview, not technical analysis. Technical analysis takes hours. You have to look at the Bitcoin pairs. You have to look at different things. We're just doing a technical overview here. Anybody that says they do technical analysis in an hour live just by looking at charts like I am and is a full tech, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. This is a technical overview. Get that straight. Get that right, okay? Like Crypto Clown World could tell you right here. This is not technical analysis. This is good technical overview. Yes, it has technical analysis elements, but if you really want to do TA, you have to look at different pairs, you have to look at different time frames, multiple time frames. There's a whole bunch of shit you have to look at, and we don't have the time to do that live. That's why I'm saying be a swing trader, not a day trader, because can you imagine how long it takes to day trade? Right? It just doesn't make sense. Be a swing trader, do longer moves, they make more money over time anyway. Hey, Paul, can you check out Fetch? Yes, I can. Also, what are your overall thoughts right now? Let's have my overall thoughts are in the beginning of the live stream. I strongly suggest you watch it after we finish this live stream. Watch it from the beginning because I get into Bitcoin, I get to all the levels to watch and the market in general. Okay, let's have a look at Fetch. Give me a second. Let's do Fetch. What did you notice? Okay, so Fetch looked like it was about to get some life here, but rejected. So Fetch, again, it's under this main. I would not look at Fetch until we break this range, at least get into this range over here. And then I would play this range until we break out either to the upside long term, downside. Yeah, so this is the range I'm looking at. You want to get into this range. Look, you have too many sells long term. Factor line is red. It's in the red. Trend stacker's in the red. SFP sell over here. You crossed under the previous SFP, so your stop loss would have hit all the way down here. Yes, you can play this range. This is if you want to trade this, you're playing this range over here. But your resistance level, I don't know, man. I don't know. So you're playing the bottom half of this range on the daily. This is what you're playing here. Buy, sell, right? You're playing this range down here. And long term, if it breaks under this range, you would completely exit. This is probably not going to hold. And look, even though it recovered a little bit, it's very close to this lows. So I wouldn't even bother with Fetch. I wouldn't even trade it right now. I wanted to at least get into this zone up here for me to even get remotely interested, because then it's clear, get out under the bottom of this range, get in long term if we crack the top of this range, and there's a lot of trading to be done over here. This is not big enough for me to trade as a trader, if that makes sense. It's not worth it. So there's other coins that are better set up. So that's what I'm looking at with Fetch. And this video should serve as a way to do technical analysis, how to think about technical analysis. It's not just about looking, oh, we're bullish, oh, we're bearish. It's about ranges, how close we are to the bottom, how weak it looks, are other setups better, and so on. And that's really important. Mo says, what happened to BitBoy Crypto? Heard he's lost. Yeah, the guy went through some shit. It happens, man. A lot of shit happens. I like him. He tried. He was a survivor. He was a fighter. He was in drugs before. He crashed back in, I guess. And, you know, there's a lot of people attacking him. I don't like attacking or kicking people while they're down. I hope the best for him. I wish him the best. But I don't know what's going on with BitBoy Crypto, the channel and everything, the original one. Turns out that it was what I was saying back then. There's three sides to a coin. There's the tails, there's the heads, and there's the edge. And we're supposed to stand on the edge and look at all three sides. But in this case, we can't. We don't know what happened. But it looks like Bitcoin pretty much lost it. Yes, we'll see. He'll make a comeback. He's a strong guy. He did it before. I think he can do it again. I have an interview with him on my channel, how he got in trouble in the past and how he got out of it. Maybe he gets out of it again. Will equities crash result in a drain on crypto? I don't really look at that. I don't even look at that. And the reason I don't look at that is that's not my expertise. I look at what I know and what I can trade off, and I stick to that. So I look at the charts. I don't look at overall news. I don't even know how to trade equities. Obviously, I can with a factor line, but it's not my scene. It's very different trading crypto than what it is trading crypto, equity, stocks, and Forex. And this is why a lot of TradFi, which are much better technical analysts, get screwed when they do TA on crypto. And the people in crypto doing TA don't have the experience of the TradFi guys, and that's why they're getting screwed in crypto, most of them anyway. And my advantage is I know both. So I know I've traded both. I used to teach Forex, the TA in Forex, and I've been in crypto since 2017. And I found my own system, which now I have my own course. Now I have my own indicator. Again, it's over here, and the link's down below if you're interested. And that's what gives me the advantage, if that makes sense. But I try not to get involved with shit that I don't know about. I don't know. Equities crash, maybe. I don't know. I don't talk about shit I don't know. And I don't pretend to know, and I don't guess. I don't want to guesstimate you. I don't want to be like, oh, yeah, of course, just because I heard it will. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Probabilities-wise, probably. But generally speaking, I don't know, because it doesn't always match up. Like, things can surprise you, let's put it that way. I just stick to my charts. Good morning, Rajadesi. Will Sol reach all-time high again? That's a prediction. I don't know. If this bull market has a continuation, which there's a possibility, then it's very likely that Sol will reach its all-time high, even exceed it, and go to my call of $500 to $700 by the end of this bull market. But if this bull market's over, obviously not. Please look at Bitcoin Cash. I think it's a solid play this cycle. I know why you're saying that because of the narrative, but let's have a look. I will have a look. Because I did notice it at some point. I haven't traded for a while. What's the indicator again here? Give me a second. Bitcoin. La 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 la. I forgot what the ticker is, for fuck's sake. Just because I haven't done this for a long time for Bitcoin Cash. BCH, right? Okay, there you go. BCH USDT. And I'll tell you what I would do with Bitcoin Cash in a second, because it's important. Okay, so we have the daily. Let's just look at the daily for now. Wow. Okay, so this is an interesting trade here. It does look strong. You're right. You're completely right. So Bitcoin Cash, nice bottom formation over here. Broke out the first range. Now we have the second range. So factor line told you to buy right here. As a matter of fact, told you to buy here, never told you to sell, told you to buy again here. We came into the range, and now the factor line is gold on the daily. So if I'm telling you right now, if we break, let me do this properly because it's important. Let's extend this, and let's do a range because I think it's important. I would do it here. So 633 to, if we can break this range, let's say we break this, something like this. We have a little bit of resistance here. I would say you would buy, and you put your stop loss under the previous range over here, right? Let's go weekly real quick. Give me a second. Because it's important. Yeah, exactly. I thought so. So if we break this range, very easily might see something like this, even a retest. I wouldn't get so bullish until proven possible, but something like this. If this breaks and becomes support, I would say you might even see 1,000. You might see something like this if we end the cycle. A retest up here is a bit hopeful. We'll cross the bridge when we come to it. But yeah, I'd say this is a very good trade right now. Just because it has clear rejections. So you have to break these. So you can buy, sell, buy the breakout, or double down on the breakout, and so on. But yeah, Bcash, very good chart. Well done. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, a lot of altcoins look broken right about now. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. BCH, yes. BCH looks good. And I get the narrative as well. While people are saying that Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. It happens towards the end of the cycle, I guess. I have to say I did better with miners than crypto. Yeah, well, happens. I'm liking Link, AVAX, ADA, Quant right now. All look good versus Bitcoin. Okay, cool. I'm not going to look at the charts because you just gave it all away. Please look at Turbo Coin. Oh, really? I will, but I hope you understand what means. But let me have a look. Because sometimes I can get corrected. Oh, dude, come on. On the weekly, it's shit completely. Like, look. It's completely shit on the weekly. Let's go to the daily. Sorry. What did I just do? There you go. Okay, so the daily is telling you to sell and trade within this range. I would not look at Turbo until we come up above here. I know that sounds crazy, and it's a bit long. If you're bullish on it, if you're holding it, I guess this is your validation over here. But I would not get in until we at least start trading within this range over here. Me personally, the way I trade. And then breakout should be bought, and then any rejection, depending, you can do what you do. But it's been red for a while. And look, let me put things into perspective for you here. Oh, there's no Turbo Bitcoin pair. Great, okay. Is there a Turbo ETH pair? No, Sol. Yes, I wouldn't even bother. I'm not even going to bother. I would wait for it to get into this range before I think about buying. So what I would do with Turbo, if I really wanted to get into Turbo, I would wait for a snap and I would wait for it to buy a snap. So for example, if we break and come into this range, yeah, this is how I trade it. And if we break, I'd probably buy the break. So I'd be trading in this range, completely exit under, get in longer if we get over, and then reevaluate. But okay, trend stacker is gold on the daily here. You can at least wait for the factor line to turn gold, in my opinion. But that's just me on meme coins, right? right now. Not as bullish, except the few I am in. But yeah, that's about it. I'm going to go head out because I got to get ready to work out. So I have to go to my Muay Thai class. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you. Again, check out the factor line over here. Prices are higher than yesterday, but lower than what they're going to be. Check it out. See if it's for you. It comes with a course. Invest, trade, and think like the Crypto Factor. The link is also in the description down below. And at some point you can watch, if you're watching this video on replay, watch this video here next. If it's available. If not, just find my latest video. I love you all. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.